Now, I would like to share a gatha on delighting, as Bhanteji was speaking on meditation and delighting calmness. So related with that, I have selected a gatha from Dhammapada. The Dhammapada is one of the book from Tripitaka, the holy words of the Buddha. So from this Dhammapada, I have selected one wonderful gatha. So gatha is like that in Pali, like this. Idhanandati pechanandati katapunyo ubhayatanandati punyang me katanti nandati bhiyo nandati sugatingato. Meaning is, the doer of good delights here and hereafter. He delights in both the worlds. The thought, good I have done, delights him, and he delights even more when he gone to realms of bliss. So this is the meaning, and I will elaborate it later. So during the time of the Buddha, there was a upasaka called Upasaka Dhammika, who was very meritorious upasaka, and he was doing dana always and also occasionally. And he was very virtuous also. And in fact, he was the leader of 500 devotees of the Buddha in the Savatthi. And he had 7 sons and 7 daughters. So as he was practicing Dhamma, and he was also leading 500 devotees of the Buddha. So as he was performing this dana and practicing sila all the time, so even his sons and daughter were also like their father. They were also practicing dana and sila all the time. So one day it happened that Upasaka Dhammika falls in the sick, and he requested to the Sangha to come his home and recite sacred words of the Buddha, sutras, beside his bed. So the monks went to his house and chanted protective chantings and Mahasatipatthana Sutta, that is a discourse on fourfold establishment of mindfulness, object of mindfulness. So this sutta was reciting by the monks, and in between celestial beings arrived there, and they invited this Dhammika Upasika to their world. So as we have these 31 planes of existence in Buddhism, that was experienced by the Buddha himself in his meditation. So we have these 31 planes of existence. Whoever do good punya, by the power of this good punya, they may reborn in the celestial beings, among the celestial beings as a celestial being, and they enjoy happiness there in the celestial beings, in the celestial world. So when these celestial beings arrived there, and this Dhammika could see them, and they were inviting him and welcoming to their world. But Upasika Dhammika felt that they are disturbing while suttas being residing there. Dhammika stopped them and tell them to stop. So the monks were reciting these sutras, thought that Dhammika is stopping them. So they keep quiet and they left that place. And her daughter and sons were there, and he said, uh, he said to one of his sons to throw garland into the sky, into the air. So that son threw a garland which hang in the chariot of Tusita Devaloka. And then Dhammika said to the sons and daughters that, could you see that chariot? And they were like, they could not see. So he said that I have selected this Tusita Devaloka. I will go there as they are welcoming me. So I have selected this Devaloka, celestial world, to be reborn. You may also reborn with me if you perform punya kammas, good karma, observing sila, doing charity. You can also be there in Devaloka. He said like that. And after some time, passed away, Upasaka Dhammika passed away and reborn in Devaloka. As the monks and the Buddha asked them, what happened to Dhammika Upasaka? And they said, Buddha asked them, did Upasika Dhammika listen your chanting, Dhamma talk? Then the monks replied, yes, Venerable Sir. He listened, but in between he stopped. And then the Buddha said that, then the Buddha said, he passed away and reborn in Devaloka. Buddha said he reborn in Devaloka because of the punya karmas he have accrued throughout his life, as he was donor and he used to practice silas. By the power of these silas, he reborn in Devaloka. Whoever do punya, they delights here in this very life. Pechanandati, which means they delight after this life. In the next life, they also delight. Katapunyo ubayatanandati, thinking that I have done Katapunyo ubayatanandati, which means they delight in both world, here in this world as well as in the next world. Punyang me katanti nandati, by thinking that they have done punya, they delight during thinking, yes, I have done this wonderful punya. Bhiyo nandati sugatingato, even they delight even more when they reborn in bliss, in the state of Devaloka, in Sugati. When they reborn, even they delight more there by the power of this punya karma. So delight is, you can see in this story, Upasaka Dhammika, who was a very good practitioner and keeping himself in charity, keeping himself in practicing sila. So this, when you practice charity or anything, punya karma, which also develop our mind to engage more and more in punya karma. This is how a development of mind gradually progress, gradually develop to the spiritual path, and also it increase the interest and delight in the Dhamma, in the punya karmas also. So we can see when we practice this charity or sila or meditation, as just now we have done meditation. So they need to practice continuously. When we practice it continuously, it is like we are developing our sight, our eyes. When we have good eyes, we use our eyes to see the world, to see the different things, different buildings, different objects. We enjoy to see. And like this, when we do some punya karma, starting from dana, when we do dana and we feel that dana, after doing charity, we feel, yes, we have done dana out of understanding that I am helping someone with the understanding. I am uh, decreasing, I am helping a other person to be free from suffering. That is why I have offered dana. So you feel like delighting, calmness in your mind, and you are gradually decreasing your craving also. When you decrease your craving, your attachment, you feel also light in the body, in the mind, both. So this makes like more interest, more delight into the Dhamma, into the practice of the Dhamma. So whenever you do further practice of the Dhamma, such as Sila, then also you may encourage yourself to be there all the time, or to practice most of the time to the Silas or to the meditation, because you have now developed a eye of delighting into the Dhamma. So you can see delight in the dana, delight in the sila, delight in the meditation. So more you engage yourself in the dana, the more you engage yourself in the sila, the more you engage yourself in the meditation, the more delight you enjoy, the more delight you can have. So it develops our eyes of wisdom, it develops our engagement into the dharma, and it also develop delight in dana, sila, bhavana. And when we have this all delight in dana, sila, bhavana, so we have also good understanding of these things. Yes, when we do dana, we gradually eradicating attachment. When we meditate, we gradually eradicating heaviness which we hold all the day in our head, and we gradually eradicating tension. Gradually we are eradicating aversion. We gain this understanding when we more engage ourselves in the dana, sila, bhavana. So this understanding also we can develop, we can see by ourselves. It is not just it is said by the Buddha or said by anyone, but yes, we ourselves we can see this development of wisdom in our mind. So here in this Gatha, as the Buddha said, delighting those who are performing punya karmas, they delight here and hereafter. They delight both the world here and hereafter. And by thinking that they have done lots of punya, lots of good practice of dharma, then also they delight. When they passed away and reborn in the celestial world or good plans of existence, even they more delight there. So this is what the Buddha have said in this Gatha. With this understanding, you also keep engage in dana, sila, bhavana, and delight this good action of punya karma, practice of dharma. Manage yourself in the right way. When you manage yourself, as you know, managing yourself also give delight, happiness, because when you are not managing yourself in the right way, in peaceful way, we may create some sorts of problems that keep increasing more and more, that becomes a heavier burden on our head. So when we keep ourselves in these wholesome actions, we can get this delight, and we can have good understanding, and we will not do easily some unwholesome actions. If we do, then this delight and this understanding will help us to avoid those unwholesome actions, because we have already developed some understanding of kusala, wholesome and unwholesome. So you can examine by yourself and you can correct by yourself also, if sometime it happened. So this is the power of understanding, which you have gained through your own understanding, through your own practice of Dhamma, through your own delighting in the Dhamma. And why you have delighting in the Dhamma, you can also feel all those things by yourselves. So with this short Dhamma talk, I conclude here, and I hope that you have understood these words of the Buddha as he has mentioned in this Gatha. With this short talk, I conclude with the best wishes. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you keep progress on the path of Dhamma, may you be free from dangers and accidents. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.
Thank you, Bante, for the talk. This talk is about delightful. We have to make our mind, our life delightful, right? We have to. Why we should have time for worry, and we shouldn't have. We shouldn't spend our time in remorse and guilt and other things. We need to just be delightful, and as Bante said, you become more lighter, because otherwise you become more heavier. So one of the characteristic of say unwholesome, in the sense, what we call in simple word negativity. We talk about negativity, toxicity. One of the feature is that it makes you more burdensome, more heavier, right? And the characteristic of wholesome or goodness or positivity, it makes you more lighter, lighter and lighter. So when you become more lighter, you become more malleable. You can just, move around easily. So if you have a huge burden on your head, you can't move around easily. It's a big burden, right? So just let go. Just let go of everything, and just be joyful. And as I mentioned earlier, that if you start meditating, that helps you to make yourself free from all the negativities. And then you can engage yourself in some good activity, and you can, if you are internally more peaceful, you can enjoy your life in a better way. A cup of tea in the morning will be the most enjoyable time for you, right? You don't need some very heavy substances like alcohol, to get that kick in your life, right? You don't need that much, right? But since we become so heavier, we become a lot of, in our time, people have become so much stuffed with all those heaviness, all those negativity, that they need some heavier things like alcohol and other things to to feel that what do you call joy. You do, maybe you do get some moment of joy, but it is not long lasting, right? It is temporary, and then it has its own repercussion as well, right? So whatever negativity, another characteristic, it gives you that temporary, delight of whatever. But it won't. It would destroy a lot of your own thing, including your mind. And another thing about that is maybe today 1 or 2 glass will give you that kick, but then eventually you need 6 cups or 8 cups, you need more. Okay, so it goes on and on. So therefore, you need to, that is a characteristic of some heavier substances, things that we do. Some of those things we try to do, to be happy, unwholesome, in other words, which we all know. Some of the things we know what is healthier, what is not healthy. We have some idea, right? But then we just still go. We just go. So the antidote for that would be meditation. So meditation gives you a very deeper, blissful state. And also another way would be to read some of the discourses of the Buddha. It is called sutra, sutta. You go also read some of those words, and then you also feel that deeper joy. And these are all inside of us. Right? Even the source of joy is inside of us. Source of this depression is also within us. Restlessness or this sense of unsatisfaction. Always looking for. Always you're like not satisfied. You're just all over the place. You're just finding something, but you're not getting, right? So this kind of mind is making you more unhappy, right? So when you meditate, you deal with some of those, and then develop this deeper joy that is within you. It is hidden. It's there inside of you, but it's hidden. Now you have to just uncover it. You have to bring them up, and you will be much more happier. And as mentioned in the Gatha, you will be happy now and later. Because if you're not happy now, how can you expect happiness later? Later in life or in the next life. So you really need to do that, because it's a habit, that you pick up. Because it's all about habit. We call it sankhara. The sankhara is this habitual pattern that we develop in our life. So in one place, Buddha said that don't ignore the smaller experiences in our life. Even they become cumulative, action or habit. It's accumulated over time. The smaller thing in our life. So one of the thing today, as I spoke about mindfulness, is that you look into every experience in your life, and you take care of them and you nurture them. It's not that you are when you meditate, you are mindful, and then when you're not meditating, you're just doing you're all over the place. You're not mindful. So mindfulness is also about every experience of life, every experiences of your life, and always find, always engage in something beneficial, something productive, all the time, So don't keep yourself idle, don't keep yourself, doing nothing, right? So you can have your own moment of, say, whatever, something that you enjoy, right? But then do it, and pick up some of the things which are healthier. So that way you sort of become more stable within, because you are, all the time engaged in something productive, and that becomes habit, because when you do that, then you don't have the chance, you don't have that opportunity for you to become say unhappy, or to become restless, or you don't give room for that, you don't give time for that. So you just keep doing that, keep doing. That's what Buddha said. Abhitarita kalyani. Something good you try, keep on doing, keep on doing. It can be as simple, it can be very simpler thing, simpler thing. When we say good thing, we did not really think about doing something great, something very, very huge. It's about your day-to-day activity, day-to-day, just the fact that you're alive, right? You are alive, and when you're alive, you are, even if you're not doing or saying something, your mind is there and you're thinking something, right? So even that you have to see, even that you have to be mindful of. So it's like a conscious living, it's like a consciously, willingly, intentionally you do, right? You live an intentional life, and that too a wholesome intention. So that you do, when you do that, then it becomes easier for you even while meditating, right? So you say today morning you meditated, then whole day you lead a mindful life. Then next time when you sit in meditation, you will feel more stable because you continued that mindfulness throughout. So it helps each other, right? This meditation helps your day-to-day life. That day-to-day activity also helps in turn your meditation. It helps, and they're interconnected, Okay, so I think we maybe conclude here. Just the takeaway from today's meditation, today's program is how to be delightful, how to be joyful. Okay, so you be joyful throughout, like don't allow, as they say, fake it till you make it, so even fake it. So you can do that, faking it also, in the sense, it's not really faking it, but you're trying, it's a trial. You're just trying to be joyful. Okay? So this week, the theme of this week is, theme of your life this week is joyful, to be joyful, to be delightful. How can I be how can I be most of my time? How can I be joyful more rather than gloomy or very bored or something, Yes. Okay. So with this we conclude. So we also invite you for every Sunday. Come every Sunday, because as I mentioned, this ration will be finished by maybe Saturday. So take new ration. So it's a food for as we call food for the mind. Buddha actually spoke about this food for the mind. It's called ahara. That the physical ahara is kavalinkara ahara. Then there is food for mind also, phasa, manusanchaya, vinyana. So he literally used this word of food. So this is food for your mind. What we do now is food for your mind. Okay, so we are happy to see all of you, and some of you coming regularly. We want you to come regularly. It's good for you all, for everyone, and for all of us. And we thank all of you to see here and to come here, and we see next Sunday. Till then, wishing all of you happiness. May you all be happy and peaceful and be free from worry and tensions and troubles. May all your wishes be fulfilled. May you all be appreciative of your own life, and may you all be able to practice stability, peace throughout throughout this week. and may you all progress in Dhamma and progress toward the ultimate happiness of Nibbana. Bhavatu Sabbamanda Rakhantu Sabbadevata Sabbabuddhanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabbamangalam Badevata Sabbadhammanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Bhavatu Bhamangalam Rakhantu Sabbadevata Sabbasangha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Sadhum See you next Sunday.